As you can see, they're epic. They're also on sale. The Liberal Tears mugs and everything, the original is still on there. And I actually have something very special to show you guys. I have one in real life. So here it is. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it's printed extremely high quality. And what I didn't know is that I actually have it on both sides. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, you'll be able to see a Liberal Tears mug from either side. And don't forget, you can also order it without the smiley face if you don't like that. But it's actually the most popular one, which is pretty funny. So here you go. Here it is. Check out the new website. You can read the description if you want. Check it out. Thank you guys. Let's get into the video. See you later.
With 40 days until the election, Miss Ann Coulter is back with a new book called Mugged, where she claims that President Obama has abandoned black Americans and that the O.J. Simpson verdict was a great thing for America. Please welcome the very controversial Miss Ann Coulter. Ann. All right. Okay, I need you to tell me what you're trying to say in this book, because we don't know what you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to say is race-mongering has been very bad for America. Liberals use it to promote causes that have nothing to do with blacks and, in fact, harm blacks. And that excellent lead-in you just gave about O.J., I mean, I think that was the moment, having lived near New York City in the 70s and 80s, which was the golden era. It was like Trayvon Martin and Duke lacrosse case every day. With the O.J. verdict, white America said, that's it, the white guilt bank is shut down, and that ended up being the best thing that ever happened to black Americans. I meant that no longer...
Being acquitted was good for who?
Yes, because you had millions of white people watching with the equivalent of what in New York we used to refer to as the Brooklyn juries, who simply would not convict even guilty black criminals, not innocent black
Hold up, Ms. Coulter. Please stop. Please stop. If you're going to talk about race, at least know what you're talking about. At least know what you're talking about. Well, tell me how much you know about being black.
Well, this isn't about being black.
Well, but you just said, you just made all these statements about how black people feel. Tell me how you know that. Yeah, you did.
This is not a book about black people. It is a book about white liberals. And I do know, and this is a fact, that once for years, Republican policies on crime and welfare, for example, were called racist. When they finally got implemented, after the O.J. verdict, I might add, by crime Giuliani in New York, Reagan and Bush judges overall, tens of thousands of black lives were saved. That is a fact. I don't have to know about being black.
Actually,
but I know
because your facts are just a little shaky. I mean, you're saying that because black people, because liberals are what? Because liberals have abandoned black people now because... What? I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't think liberals ever cared about black people. I mean, 5 minutes after the Civil Rights Act of '64, they start calling everything that has nothing to do with black people a civil rights issue.
Wait a second.
Abortion on demand, homeless rights.
So are you saying that liberals don't care about black people? Then are you saying Republicans embrace us in a warm, fuzzy blanket?
We're not embraced back. But yeah, we tried to.
So wait a minute. So the Southern strategy was a white liberal thing? No, it was a Republican thing.
No.
And also, Newt Gingrich calls President Obama the food stamp president. That's not racist?
This chapter.
Wait a second.
Do you really think that was... Do you believe it was racist for Newt to say that the president is a food stamp president?
Well, he wouldn't say it.
If we could just skip, I'm not a big fan of Newt, so we could just skip that for a second and get to the Southern strategy.
Yeah.
Because I've specifically disproved it. It's an absolutely liberal folklore. Republicans were winning the South since 1920. It was the outer states of the South. It was Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia.
Voting. What are you talking about? We weren't allowed to vote.
Who was trying to get them to vote? Republicans were.
Yeah,
and the first black congressmen were all Republicans. And the first black governor was a Republican.
Talking about way back
After is so different from
that is definitely what we're told. But in fact, the Democratic segregationists were all liberal Democrats. It is a lie that they were conservative Democrats.
Everybody was a segregationist, darling. You know, basically, everybody was. White people were. It didn't matter whether they were Republicans or not.
Ask you a question.
The first integrationists. Just read chapter 14 in this book. The first Republicans to be elected in the South.
Listen to my grandmother, who was there, who remembers what happened.
Howard Baker and an aggressive integrationist, first Republican elected in Tennessee to the Senate. You have Winthrop Rockefeller, first Republican governor in
But you know, I have a question about today. Let me ask you something about what's going on now. It seems to me...
The Southern strategy is a lie.
It seems to me that voter suppression is happening in areas where black people and Hispanics are, and they really is being promoted by the Republicans, not the Democrats. So in my view, and I have a different one from you, it looks as though the Republicans are really going against blacks, not the liberals.
No, and this
what
is
do
a
you say to
perfect
that?
example. Yes, it is, and it's a perfect example. No, I'll explain why. Of liberals using the label of civil rights to promote a liberal cause they support, i.e. voter fraud. In fact, one of the first states in the Union to pass voter ID bills was Rhode Island, 85% Democratic legislature. And who pushed it? A black Democrat in the House, a black Democrat in the Senate. That's a fact.
No, you may pick out Rhode Island, but there are other states where it's completely Republican-driven.
Why would black Democrats be pushing this? Because they had seen
because
voter
they want the
fraud.
Hispanic vote to go to
Can I
Romney.
ask a general question? Every book that you write is very controversial and shocking, and it's usually an opinion that's disparate with everybody else's.
Right.
Do you just write these books and try to find whatever it is that's going to make everybody say,
Well, do you believe this claptrap?
you really care?
The reason, it's an excellent question. The reason I write these books is because I try to correct things that people believe that are just false.
Here's the question for
This
you.
is a lot.
This is a question because I was reading a book,
And you may be the only one that says it, but...
Well, there are a few things. I mean, discovering that we never won the Goldwater states and Republicans didn't win the Dixiecrat states until the Dixiecrats died out.
You keep staying back in the past. You got to come into the present. But this is what I want to say.
That's new to me. The rest of it, other people know.
In reading your book, you know, you keep saying if you will read chapter 14, if you will read, you make such divisive comments and incendiary comments and hateful comments at times. It makes people not want to pick up your book and read it. So
People agree with her, read it.
Yeah, well, people agree with
No,
you.
I don't think so. You name a hateful comment in here.
You know, when you talk about you stay in the past, that Republican
No,
was
only
back
because it
then.
was brought up. There's only one chapter on the past, and I mean, it's just a
But when you talk
fact.
about something like voter suppression, which
Right.
obviously is trying to keep black people and Latinos,
Republicans have never done that. That was a Democrat thing.
and it's in states where they don't even have any.
Stop. Let me just, because can I just say one thing, Dan? No matter what, you sit down here and you've got 5 women going, butter.
Yes.
Whatever it is, thank you for coming.
But I'm being affected negative.
Exactly. Because in the past, if
So
you were
we do have to pay for the sins of our fathers.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. It's not even my fathers. I wasn't even over here during that
You
period.
still benefited from
Just
it.
anyone that looks like no. Our family was starving in Europe when most people were benefiting.
Totally, yeah. You're getting double screwed.
I was born in the 80s. I get benefits from the 80s
One group of people
does not make it right for another person
I'm
that's
not
been
saying
screwed
that it
once.
does, but I'm saying that that's why it is the way it is now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about we have laws written in to put me at disadvantage. Yeah, people say there's systemic racism. You can tell me there's personal racism, and I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
People are racist on all sides.
Totally.
But you can't tell me there's systemic racism if you can't point to one law written into any sort of government thing that gives an advantage to somebody because they're white.
But that's the thing with white privilege is that it was an unwritten law.
It's like
unwritten. It's a good old boys club.
yeah, but you're saying that it's a certain undefinable quality that I should be believing in. If it's an undefinable quality, I tend not to give it a lot of credibility. Like I want some stats and numbers.
I think that society does that enough, don't they?
I think that if you judge somebody by the color of their skin, you're a racist.
I think that's what
That's what white privilege is kind of racist towards whites, if you ask me. I mean,
You can't be racist towards whites when they're the ones that have been in privilege for hundreds of years.
why is a race exempt?
Huh?
Why is that race exempt?
Why is it exempt from what?
Why is that exempt? Why can't white people be the victims of racism?
Because they're the ones that that dominate and privilege the most in this culture.
I would argue that Islam.
Yeah, I know.
I had someone call me a white boy just before they hit me in the face once. You're telling me that wasn't racist?
It might have been.
Because he wouldn't have brought up my race if it wasn't racist.
Yeah.
So I suffered some racism.
You did.
But I appear to be white.
Yeah.
So then white people can suffer from racism.
Definitely you're going to be impacted
Do
by
we
it.
deserve to be punished for things that ancestors did?
So there it sucks. But the basis of this country was built off of slavery. That's not true.
Most whites were not in the country when slavery was still.
It doesn't matter. The economic
Talk about
system.
slavery, dude. Look at
The
Islam.
economic was built.
Look at the 1,600 years of Islamic oppression.
So
There's
that
still
makes it
slavery
okay. That makes it all right.
Part of human nature, dude.
So that makes it okay.
I'm not saying it's okay, but it's nothing new. You're making it seem like it's the very first time anybody has been a slave. This is coming from me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But you're saying that that's okay.
That happens every day in the fucking goddamn world.
I know.
And you haven't done shit about it, have you?
Bullshit.
No, you haven't done shit.
What have you been doing about it, ma'am? What have you been doing about it?
My great grandfather was a slave on a plantation when he came here to America from Spain. We are Hispanics or Trump. Guess what? I don't drink, honey.
It smells like it. That's all right.
Ad hominem there. Attacking her personal character. You can't come up with anything else?
That's true. Actually, yeah, if she would have answered my question, I would have been more than happy to continue
Try
the
to keep the red
conversation.
pill around here.
Do you understand though how vague white privilege can be hard for me to stomach?
Totally.
When I'm
It's really hard to understand white privilege. No doubt about that.
No, okay, that's another argument I don't like. Because you're white, you can't understand white privilege. I'm a man. Can I not understand any? I can't comprehend what anything's like for a girl. I can't. But I mean, if I can't get a tangible reason for white privilege, can you see why I don't want it used as a bludgeon to silence me?
No, I can hear that, but it doesn't mean that that's not there.
When I was going to school, I would ask people, like, just tell me, okay, what are you here for? They'd tell me, I'd say, okay, give me some facts. Be like, okay, that's your white privilege talking. The fact that I want facts. It's continuously being used against people to bludgeon them into submission because you have white privilege, so just shut up. That's what I don't like.
That's fucked up. Male white privilege, yeah. That's the big one. Yeah. Yeah. That's just the meme of the hour on Reddit.
White privilege is a myth.
It's a myth. Every race is susceptible to being rich or poor. It's a myth.
That's a myth. So there's been white people that have not. If you work hard, you're gonna get paid. Yep.
$11 million.
White privilege is a racist concept. It is racist to assume that white people have privilege over everybody else.
Everyone gets sold that one. Everyone gets sold that one.
I've worked every weekend the last 2 years. I have no social life anymore, but I know that one day I'm going to be able to kick my feet up. No college degree. I know people who are union workers, electricians, blue-collar workers. They started from the bottom. They just saved their money. You work for IBEW, electrician. You don't need any college degree. They pay you for a 5-year apprenticeship program. They pay you $90,000 a year. See you, buddy. $150,000 a year. 10 years later, if you're really dedicated at saving your money, you could absolutely make $1 million. And I definitely watch InfoWars, and I appreciate you guys documenting everything I said. Oh yeah, blue collar, white collar, everybody can be a millionaire. InfoWars! We're landed free out here. Oh yeah, a lot of my people are in construction.
That's how it works.
Work for IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. You'll become a millionaire there, guaranteed. Unless China, with TPP, starts taking more of our jobs, we got something a little bit to worry about. I spend a lot of money on Chevy Silverados, but sometimes you just got to save a little bit and wait until you
live within your means. Live within your means.
My boss started doing construction, right? Now he runs a $120 million company.
Exactly.
From the bottom to the top. $120 million company. Right?
Yep, definitely.
How much money does he need? He needs to give it all away.
Yeah.
That's what the other guy was saying.
Like how he should spend it.
That's right.
How do you get off telling people what to do do with their property.
You should give it all the way to the workers because no one should make more than
if you really want to,
everybody should make the same.
God forbid you put more weight on your shoulders and get paid higher.
Right.
Yeah, if you really want to never work a day in your life, you'd have to do the hard work first. But make an apartment building. If you have an 8-unit apartment building, you'll be chugging in a lot of money, $8,000 a month. $100,000 a year. Just keep compounding that. Have a person on site living there. You won't have to work a day in your life.
That's how Trump really got started. In real estate was middle income apartment housing.
Yep. All the tech workers, those guys, they'll make $90,000 a year if they try. But here's the thing: all the hours are horrible. They got to sit in a desk all day. They get gray hair by the time they're 35, 40. Real estate development, definitely. Property is always an area that you'll be making money in. Absolutely. Property appreciates. We bought a house, $45,000 when we bought it. Now it's worth about $300,000. Just been sitting on it for decades and decades and decades. Yep. I mean, just like my grandfather, he bought a bunch of houses way back before World War II, and when he passed away, sold it was about $5 million.
Live within your means.
Yeah, but there was like 9 family members. They had to split it up, so it kind of got broken up. But definitely broke the $1 million part.
I'd say definitely if you go out and you spend your hard hours every day just complaining, if you work somewhere and you don't strive to be something better than the current job, and you're poor like this guy that probably was, you're going to make excuses. You're going to start reading doctrines of Marxism. You're going to start saying, oh, I deserve this because my life's hard. Everybody's life's hard. Hate to break it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got to wake up and hit that alarm. No one's exempt from that. Doesn't matter. The only time that you'd be exempt from that is if you get daddy's money like the Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Like, it is so hard. You have to have confidence.
Hello, everyone. Hey, I'm just stopping by to remind you that liberals are insane. Social justice warriors are becoming more violent and triggered than ever before. Anyways, be sure to subscribe to KGP TV on YouTube and have a blessed day. Yeah, man.